You've done the healing. You've read the books. You've gone to therapy. You've learned how to regulate your nervous system. Yet there's a quiet moment, maybe late at night, maybe after a conversation that didn't sit right, when you think, why did I shrink again? You're more self-aware than you used to be. You don't react the way you once did. You catch your triggers faster, but when someone challenges you, dismisses you, or subtly crosses a line, you still feel that old reflex to soften, to smooth, to make it okay. And then you question yourself. I thought I was further along. If that lands somewhere tender, stay with me. Today we're talking about the most dangerous empath, and it's not the one who's overly emotional or overly giving. It's the empath in what I call the Sophia stage, the stage most empaths never reach. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this stage feels powerful but unsettling, why so many empaths unconsciously stop just before it. The exact sentence you can use the next time someone mistakes your kindness for compliance. There are two threads we're going to gently untangle. First, why you keep softening even after so much growth. And second, what changes when you finally stop deriving safety from being liked. Let's begin with something simple and honest. The early stage empath survives by merging. You learn to read the room before you read yourself. You sensed tone shifts, facial expressions, silence. Maybe you became the calm one and a chaotic one. Maybe you learned that being mature, helpful, emotional, and fluent kept things steady. That wasn't weakness, that was brilliance. Your nervous system adapted, it learned that attunement created safety. But here's the part no one tells you. What once created connection can later erase you. As you heal, something begins to shift. You stop chasing intensity. You start noticing your body sooner. You feel the flicker of anger before it turns into resentment. Begin to pause instead of immediately pleasing. And many empaths think this is the final stage. It isn't. The Sophia stage isn't about being calm. It's about being steady even when someone is uncomfortable with you. Let me paint a small scene. You're in a meeting or at dinner. You're speaking. Someone interrupts you. The old version of you might have smiled and let it go. The healing version might notice irritation and tell herself it's not worth the conflict. It's not worth the conflict. Sophia Stage, you calmly says, I wasn't finished. No sharpness, no apology, just presence. Feel that difference. The most dangerous empath is the one who no longer negotiates for space. She inhabits it. And here's why most never reach this stage. The moment you stop prioritizing harmony over honesty, the relational field shifts. People who benefited from your flexibility feel it immediately. They may say, you've changed. They may subtly withdraw. They may test you. And your body will feel that. This is where the old wiring lights up. Your chest tightens. Your heart rate increases. There's an urge to explain yourself, to reassure, to soften the boundaries so they don't feel hurt. Listen closely. That urge is not about the present moment. It's memory. It's your nervous system remembering that once upon a time, disconnection felt overwhelming. So even after all your healing, approval can still feel like safety. Let's pause for a self-check. When someone is upset with you, do you immediately scan for what you did wrong? When there's tension, do you rush to repair even if you didn't create it? If someone becomes distant, do you feel compelled to fix it? And when you imagine saying that doesn't work for me, what happens inside your body? Or just notice earlier empathy absorbs, Sophia empathy absorbs, Sophia empathy witnesses. Sophia empathy witnesses. This stage requires something subtle but radical, tolerating someone else's discomfort without making it your emergency. That's where the danger comes in. Because a regulated empath who no longer needs approval changes every dynamic. You're not cold. You're not detached. You're simply no longer self-abandoning to keep connection intact. And that can feel lonely at first. And that can feel lonely at first. You may notice certain relationships thinning out, not dramatic endings, just less intensity, less access, less dependency. That's not failure. When you stop over-functioning, you expose who is under-functioning. And that exposure can feel like grief. You grieve the version of you who kept everyone comfortable. You grieve the illusion that endless understanding would guarantee reciprocity. But underneath that grief is something solid, self-respect. Here's a reframe I want you to hold on to. Boundaries are not walls. They are nervous system stabilizers. When you say, I care about you and I'm not able to say yes to this, you're not rejecting someone. You're preventing resentment. When you say, I need more time before I commit, you're honoring capacity instead of performing generosity. Notice how those sentences don't attack. They don't defend, they don't over-explain. They simply locate you. And that's the essence of the Sophia Stage. And that's the essence of the Sophia Stage. You are located in yourself, but we still haven't closed the first loop. Why does the pull to over-accommodate feel so strong, even now, attachment? Because your body still equates attunement with attachment. Somewhere deep inside, a younger part of you believes that if someone is disappointed, something precious could be lost. So the moment someone reacts to your boundary, you feel it physically. The spike, the contraction, the urge to make it better. That's not regression, that's old wiring activating. The shift isn't about never feeling that activation again. It's about staying present when you do. In the next part, I'm going to walk you through a simple 60-second reset you can use when that spike hits breath, body, and one inner sentence that stabilizes you in real time. Bolo, 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 bolo. I also share two more boundary sentences that about progression, because this stage isn't about, because this stage it's about becoming immovable in your worth. And most empaths never reach it, not because they aren't capable, but because it requires releasing the identity of being the emotional caretaker in every room. When you stop managing everyone else's internal weather, you finally get to feel your own climate. Now let's move into what actually stabilizes this stage, because insight alone doesn't hold when your nervous system is activated. Imagine this. Someone reacts to your boundary. Maybe they sigh. Maybe they say, wow, you have changed. Maybe they withdraw just enough for you to feel it. Your body responds instantly. There's a tightening in your chest, a heat in your face, a pull to explain yourself into safety. This is the exact moment most empaths abandon themselves again. So here's your 60-second reset. First, breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts and exhale longer than you inhale. Let the exhale be heavy. Do that 3 times. The long exhale tells your nervous system you are not in danger. Second, press your feet firmly into the ground or gently press your thumb and forefinger together. Give your body a physical cue of containment. You are here. You are solid. What? Third, say quietly inside yourself, discomfort is not danger. That sentence matters because what's happening is not threat. It's tension, and tension is survivable. When you stay with your breath instead of chasing their approval, something powerful happens. The wave passes, not instantly, but it passes. And here's the part no one tells you. The more you allow others to have their feelings without rushing to fix them, the safer your body begins to feel in your own authority. Let's talk about the second boundary sentence. Sometimes the pressure isn't direct, it's subtle. It's someone pushing for more time, more energy, more access. Instead of explaining your entire emotional landscape, you can simply say, that doesn't work for me. Notice how clean that is. Not, I'm sorry, I just have so much going on. Not maybe later if things calm down, just clarity. You are not required to make your boundary palatable. And here's another one for when someone keeps repeating the same dynamic. You can say, I'm not willing to continue this conversation if it stays in this tone. You're not attacking them. You're not attacking them. You're defining the conditions under which you participate. That's power without aggression. The Sophia Stage doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what isn't yours. There's a difference. Earlier empathy absorbs emotional energy automatically. Empathy filters, it feels, but it doesn't fuse. Picture yourself in a room where someone is anxious or irritated. The old pattern would have scanned for how to soothe it. Now you notice it, you breathe. You ask yourself, is this mine? And if it's not, you let it stay where it belongs. That question alone can change your life. But let's be honest about something. As you grow into this stage, you may feel a surprising loneliness. When you stop overgiving, fewer people will lean on you. In the same way, some connections will recalibrate, some will fall away. This is where many empaths are tempted to revert, to reach back for the identity of being indispensable. Listen closely. Being indispensable is not the same as being loved. When someone truly loves you, they respect your limits. They don't require your depletion to feel secure. And this is where the danger of the Sophia stage becomes clear. You are no longer easily manipulated by guilt, urgency, or emotional intensity. You respond instead of react. That changes the power balance. You may notice people testing you, small comments, subtle pushes. Watch what happens when you hold steady without defensiveness. Often the testing stops, and if it doesn't, you learn something important about the relationship. Let's return to you for a moment. I want you to imagine a recent situation where you overextended yourself. Now imagine responding from this steadier place. You breathe, you fee. You say, I care about you, and I'm not able to say yes to this, or that doesn't work for me, or I'm not willing to continue this conversation if it stays in this tone. Feel the difference in your body. There might still be activation. Growth doesn't erase sensation, but underneath it there's solidity. That solidity is self-trust, and self-trust is built each time you stay with yourself when it will all be easier to self-abandon. Here's another pattern interrupt for you. You are not responsible for managing how someone feels about your boundary. You are responsible for how you treat people. You are not responsible for protecting them from disappointment. Disappointment is not harm. This is where empathy matures. It no longer confuses compassion with compliance. But as you practice this, your nervous system learns something new. It learns that connection can survive honesty. It learns that you can tolerate tension without collapsing. It learns that being clear does not equal being cruel. And gradually something remarkable happens. You feel less resentful, less exhausted, less invisible. You start choosing when to give instead of automatically giving. Your yes becomes cleaner because your no exists. That's the integration. The most dangerous empath is not reactive. She is regulated. She does not absorb chaos. She does not chase approval. She does not shrink to maintain harmony. She remains open-hearted and immovable. At the same time, And if you're watching this, you are already closer to this stage than you think. The very fact that you notice your patterns means you're no longer fully inside them. This is not about becoming harder. It's about becoming truer. Every time you pause before answering, every time you let someone else sit with their feelings, every time you say a clear sentence without over explaining, you are rewiring something old. You are teaching your nervous system that safety does not require self-erasure. That is profound. So the next time you feel that familiar pull to smooth, to fix, to over-accommodate, remember your breath. Press your feet into the ground. Tell yourself, discomfort is not danger. Then choose the response that protects your energy as much as it protects the relationship, because saw the real power of the Sophia Stage. This, you no longer abandon yourself to belong. You belong to yourself first. And from that place, connection becomes a choice, not a survival strategy. In the next video, we'll talk about how to recognize when you're in a trauma bond versus a conscious relationship, and how Sophia Stage empathy changes that dynamic completely.